Thank you for joining one of our Access Procure Wizard tutorials. In this session, we're going to look at placing orders. To place an order, you must enter an appropriate mini-market to be able to access the suppliers and their products. Mini-markets are created on your behalf, and within the mini-markets, the relevant users that are allowed to trade within the mini-market are connected with the suppliers and the suppliers' products. So there are a couple of ways that you can go into the mini market, and one way is this option here to create a new basket, or you can go into the mini market through your favorites. You would have your favorite products listed here, and when you enter into the mini market. The first way we're just going to look at is by creating a new basket. And when I click on this option, I must select the mini market that I want to enter. If I hover over each of the mini markets, it will give me the names of the different suppliers that are connected to the mini market. So you'll be able to see them there, and the direct supplies, and so on and so forth. So you can see there all the different suppliers. I'm going to enter the food mini market, for example, and when I go to create a new basket, this little box pops up. So there's an order name field, a requested by field, a delivery date field, and departments, and then there is this little box here where you can use a department invoice address. So if you want to put in a name on the order, you can do so. It's not mandatory. If you were an example of why you would do it, if you were starting to work on a basket in advance of when you might place the order, you might want to put the name like consumables order, or Friday's order, Friday's dairy order. And then when you go to your basket up here, you'll know, and you do a left click on the basket, you can see which basket you want to select. The requested by field, this can be a mandatory field, and if it's not, you don't have to enter anything in here. If it is, you would put maybe the name of the person who has requested this order, or maybe put your own initials in there if there are multiple users using the same login user ID. The delivery date will always default to tomorrow, but you can change that to whatever date that you prefer. Then we have our departments, and this depends on your user rights and which departments that you're connected to and that are allowed to purchase under the mini market. And use department invoice address. If the department has an invoice address, you can click this so that it's invoiced back to that department. So I'm going to press continue. And when I go in this way, in through the new basket, the first thing that I'll see here is I'll be given the available suppliers within this mini market, and I'll also be able to see their delivery schedules, their cutoff times, minimum order costs, and minimum order values rather, and then delivery cost threshold, and so on and so forth. So if we just look at this one by one, you've got Boxer's Fruit and Veg. There's a depot connected to it. It says here delivery date the 13th of the 7th. Now, if you remember when I entered in and to create my basket, the date that I put that I wanted the delivery was for the 11th of the 7th. So because this is coming up in red, it's highlighting to you that it cannot deliver on the 11th of the 7th, and the next available delivery time is the 13th of the 7th. The delivery cutoff time is 10:50, and a minimum order here is €5. So what this means, first of all, with the minimum order is that if you try to place an order for €4.99 or below, the system will not allow you to place the order. And the delivery cutoff time means that if you want the order delivered on the 13th of the 7th, then you need to get the order in before that time. If you want to have a fuller explanation of the delivery rules, if you click on the name of the supplier, you'll see their complete listings here. So to read this, we've got the day of ordering. So if I'm placing an order on a Monday, the delivery time before cutoff, so the next day is the delivery and the cutoff time is just before midnight. And if I place that order after midnight, then the next delivery would be Wednesday, for example. So if I place the order before midnight, it'll be next day delivery, which would be Tuesday. Here you've got Tuesday, it's very same again. Wednesday you've got next day. But if I was to place the order on Thursday, the next available delivery would be 4 days time, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4, which would be Monday. So there are the orders, the delivery schedules in here, and you've got your minimum order value there of €5. And that's entered on the supplier side and they manage that. You've Kraken's meat and fish where you have, it's in black and it is telling you the next available delivery time. And you can see here up above the little table, you see Boxer's Fruit and Veg cannot meet your requested delivery date of the 11th of the 7th Sunday expected on Tuesday. Okay, so the minimum order is in there. Wherever you see a delivery cost threshold, if your supplier has it on, it means that you can place, and let's use the Kraken's meat and fish as an example. So it means that you can place an order for under €50, but if you place an order for under €50, you will be subjected to a €5 delivery charge. And if it's above €50, obviously you won't have to pay a delivery charge. Okay, so I'm just going to come back then to the home page because I want to go and place my orders through the favorites. But that is a way where you can check your supplier's schedule and their delivery, delivery schedules, their delivery costs, any minimum orders or delivery thresholds. So coming back to the dashboard, I'm going to use my favorites to create my orders. This is the most preferred method to place orders, but at the end of the day, it's completely up to yourself. So I'm going to go into the ambient and chilled favorites, and you can see that when I hover over the name, you can see there that it's connected to the food mini market, and just in brackets demo only, you can ignore that for the moment. So I'm going to click into here and you see the exact same box is going to open up in here. And I'm happy, I'm not going to put in any order name, any requested by, and my delivery date. I'm happy that I want it to arrive tomorrow. So I'm going to press continue. And this now will bring me into all of the products within that favorites list. And on the left hand side, you have the other favorites that you can also access. Or you can do a quick product search for products that are not on your favorites list. Okay, so the first product then that I'm going to select is the Ballymaloe relish. And you can see here, it's in the favorites, there's the grey heart. You can, if you want to remove it from your favorites, you press on that. You can see the categories that the Ballymaloe is under. Let's assume, so every product has 3 levels of categories above it. So these are 2, this is the 3rd level, this is the 2nd level, and we can safely assume that the first level is food. So the 1st level category is food, the 2nd level is ambient and chilled, pickles and relish, and the 3rd level is relish. And then you've got the product Ballymaloe relish, the original type under this category. Here we can see the pack size, so it's a 5 kilo bucket or jar. The price here is €24, and you can see that that's a special offer. And also there's the scissors beside it, so I'm going to explain that now in a moment. But first I'm just going to go to a straightforward product. So we have this flour, this wholemeal flour. It's under baking ingredients and flour. So the first category would be food, the 2nd baking ingredients, the 3rd would be flour. If I want to add a comment in there for any reason, bakers, for example, if that was a brand and you didn't see a baker's listed, preferable if. So we might put a comment like that, we'd prefer bakers if possible. The pack size is 16 kilos, the price is $13.50, and you can see here that the supplier that supplies this product is Lally's. So now I can click into the box for the quantity, and let's say I want 16 kilos of the wholemeal flour. And if I press add, you'll see the little basket here, which means that it's after going into the basket. Now, up on the top right hand side, here's my basket. There's one item in here. So that's just a very, very straightforward product and how to add it into the basket. The next that I want to show you, I'll come back to this Ballymaloe relish, and we have the scissors here. Wherever you see the scissors, as I hover over it, it says more than one supplier. So more than one supplier supplies this product, and the system will always give you the cheaper product from the cheapest supplier. So if I simply enter 2 into here and I press add, that's taking, it's ordering 2 Ballymaloe relish at the €24 from the cheapest supplier. Now, if I want to see what suppliers are supplying the product, we've got view suppliers. And if I press on that, I can open it. And here I see the details that Lally's sells the product. There's their SKU, there's the pack size, and there's the value. And you can see Boxers Fruit and Veg, their SKU, their pack size, same pack size, and then the price here is $24.10. So it's just slightly more expensive. We will look at, before we place the order, where we could swap it over to Boxers Fruit and Veg if we wanted to. For the moment, we're just going to go through and pick from the cheaper supplier. The next thing then that I want to show you is the Hellmann's mayonnaise. It's a gluten-free option, which I believe all mayonnaise is. It's the real Hellmann's mayonnaise. You can see the category here, ambient and chilled table sauce and condiments, and then it's mayonnaise is the third level category. Pack size is 10 litres, €31 is the price, and it has just one supplier that supplies that product. Now here we see a red banner and it says better prices found, view one alternative. So if I click on this, it will show me the alternative product. So here I see one buy real mayonnaise, 10 litre bucket, and it's €28. So the difference, and it's also actually being sold by Lally's food service, but it's €3 cheaper than the product. And the only difference here is that this is a branded, it's Hellmann's mayonnaise product, and this is a non-branded. This is probably a Lally's own brand mayonnaise, and it's €3 cheaper. So you can make a decision. You can decide, okay, I'm going to try that out, or no, I'm not going to try it out. I've tried it out previously. It's not a product that I want to buy. And or you can decide, yes, this is the product that I'm actually going to go for. And you can add this product onto your favorites so that you could use it in the future or have it as an option. You may look at it and say, look, you know, it's fine for some products like my potato salad, my coleslaw, in some instances where it's for my fish and chips. Maybe the mayonnaise, you want to stick with the Hellmann's mayonnaise. So that is the alternative pricing. Now, if you watched the video, the session of creating your favorites, and there's a little box when you create favorites that says show alternatives. If that box is not turned on, you won't get these alternatives in here. And that might be applicable, or it might be suitable if you're ordering kegs, for example, or certain products from certain suppliers that there are no alternatives. So it's fine not to have that on. But generally, you do want to have alternatives coming up here. Now, if you keep seeing this alternative and you don't like it and you don't want it, you can simply press this little button here and it says suppress this warning. So if I suppress this, then that alternative I won't actually see. And let's say I wanted 3 of these to add, and it's gone to my basket. Now, don't worry, because the next time I go into the ambient and chilled, it will show me here that there's a little red alert says show hidden alternatives. So you'll know then that there is an alternative there, and maybe you might know, yes, the same as I've seen before. If I press on it, on that little red button, now it will actually show me the alternative. So when you suppress it, it's not gone forever. Okay, so the next products that I want to show you, or the tools rather, we've got Kaiser chips. These are 13 by 13 millimeter chips. You can see again, the first category would be food, the second would be frozen veg, and the third would be frozen chips. The pack size is 4 by 2.5 kilos, and the cost for that pack size is €8.20. Now in this circumstance here, you have the option to split the case. So you see here it has full pack quantity, and here it has split pack quantity. And the supplier is Lally's Food Service. Now it's the supplier that will actually allow this or not allow a product to be split. And when they allow the product to be split, it means that if you put in one full product, then you're going to purchase 1 by 4 by 2.5 kilos. So if I press add, that's one case of the Kaiser chips is gone here. But if I put one into the split box here, then it's going to be 1 by 1 by 2.5 kilos. So it's just going to be one bag of chips. So I'm allowed to split the case. So the cost of that will work out as quarter of €8.20. So it'll work out then, if I can do the maths on it, it'll work out at €2.05 for just one bag of chips. So I'm going to just press add for that product to be added to my basket. Now, if the supplier, and especially when it comes to beverage suppliers, if they don't allow cases of wine or cases of beer or cases of spirits or that to be split, it may be a situation where they have one price for the case and one price for the bottle. So if we have, for example, if we had 12 litres of Smirnoff vodka, and let's just say that you know, maybe the 12 litres were €120, that would work out very nice and cheap at €10 per litre per bottle. But they may not want to sell you and split the case and have one bottle at €10. So what they do then is they will charge you more if you need to split the case. So they would charge you maybe €13 for a bottle of Smirnoff, a litre bottle of Smirnoff, and maybe it's €120 for 10 of them. So they're really trying to promote and encourage you to buy 10 bottles at a time, so they don't actually allow you to split the case. So that's the splits, and that's how that's worked there. And if I go down through here, you can see, you know, it's either alternatives, or you can see a price comparison here with the scissors, and so on and so forth. If you ever see this here, no prices are currently available for this product, you have this product on your favorites list. However, the supplier has delisted the product, so it's not actually available for sale or to purchase to you. So just before I leave this page, I just want to explain the difference, I suppose, between the comparison of the Ballymaloe relish and the comparison of the Hellmann's mayonnaise. So with the Ballymaloe relish, you will see here that when I view suppliers, that both of these suppliers are supplying the exact same product, which is Ballymaloe relish. And it's a branded product, and you'll see it down here with the likes of the cereal, the Weetabix cereal. It doesn't matter which supplier you purchase this from, this product is going to be the same product no matter what, because it's a branded product. So this is what you see here with the Ballymaloe relish. So no matter who you buy it from, you're comparing like for like with the products. So it's just the comparison is on the price. So the So that's very, very straightforward. However, with the alternative pricing, it's more of a pro rata. So if you're looking at the Hellmann's mayonnaise, and yes, this is €31 for a 10-litre bucket, and the alternative is €28 for a 10-litre bucket. However, the products are not the exact same. They're similar, but there's a difference in the brand, and it really depends on your preference. You would see here when you have products and you've got alternatives, you would see where maybe the alternative is, it might be the exact same product, but the alternative is maybe a promotion that's going on at the moment. And if you were to purchase 2 of these Hellmann's mayonnaise at €31 per 10 litre, that's going to cost you €62. However, maybe an alternative pops up in here because a supplier has posted Hellmann's mayonnaise two 10-litre buckets, and they might have a special price of €55. So it works out when you break it down per litre and you multiply it, it works out cheaper if you want to buy the 2 buckets at the same time. So that's just on the price comparison. So one is a price comparison, comparing exact like-for-like products, and the other is just looking at alternative products that are not exact like-for-like, but are similar. And this red banner here will only populate or show up when the alternative product is cheaper than the product that you're looking at. Okay, so it's just the system prompting you to have a look and maybe to hopefully save some money. Okay, so that's enough on the ambient and chilled. And the next thing then that I want to show you here is if we go into, it may not be in the favorites, but I can go into the quick product search here. And if I go into beef, for example, and I'm looking at a fillet of beef. And if I come into this fillet here, this is where you see a weight converter. And this is wherever the products are loaded per kilo, you'll see a weight converter underneath it. So you've got the beef fillet, and the supplier invoices or charges per kilo. However, you might want them to cut your fillets in 8-ounce steaks, fillet steaks. So you might want to use the converter here as opposed to trying to do a manual calculation as to how many 8-ounce steaks that you wish to purchase. So if I press on the weight converter, and first of all, I select the measurement that I want to convert. So it's in kilos, and I'm going to leave it as it is, which is ounces. Let's say that I want 8-ounce steaks, so I'll click on the required size and put in 8 ounces. And let's say I need 50 of these, and I have a wedding or a private dining coming in, and it'll do the conversion that at the moment that's 11.35 kilos. But then there's a comment that's automatically populated in here to say, please can I order 50 8-ounce steaks, and you've got 226 grams each, which will multiply by 50 is 11.35 kilos. So I can add that to the basket, and that's my fillet steak. And another option up here, which I'm going to look for, is maybe a leg of lamb. So if I do a search for lamb, and let me just use the filter to go for a leg of lamb. Let's use this one here. And just a different way that you can use the weight converter. If I go into the weight converter, and this time I select other, because I'm looking at a leg of lamb, and they can vary, you know, they can be anything between 2 to 3 kilos. So if I go to required size and I select lamb leg, and here we have that the system has it in brackets that a lamb leg is roughly about 3 kilos. They have it marked as 3 kilos. So let's say I needed 110 lamb legs. Then the conversion will be 330 kilos. Please can I order 110 lamb legs and 3 kilos each. Okay. Now, when the delivery happens, if so I'm purchasing 330 kilos of lamb leg, but that's 110 lamb legs. So one could be 2.5 kilos, one could be 2.85 kilos, one could be, so they're all going to vary. So what will happen at the delivery stage is that all of the lamb legs will come in and they'll be put on the scales, they'll be weighed, and then let's say that the overall weight works out to be 311 kilos. Well, then it will be adjusted at the delivery so that you're charged the correct price. Okay, so for the moment, this is what we're doing. We're just adding in 110 lamb legs. So I'm going to add that to the basket. And now I'm just going to go back up to my favorites here. And I'm going to go to fish and seafood. And let's look at the halibut fillet. And we've got the weight converter again. And we can use the weight converter slightly different. Again, we want to convert 2 grams, and let's say the required size is roughly 180 grams for that halibut. And whatever function is coming in, we want to order 30 of those. So again, the system, the weight converter will convert here that 30 by 180 grams is 5.4 kilos, and then you've got your comments. Please can I order 30 by 180 grams each? Now we all know that the fish, you know, it would be very, very difficult for a supplier to get a fillet of halibut, which is exactly 180 grams, but they'll give you, you know, anywhere between 170 to 190. And again, then when the products come in and they're weighed at the back door, then the overall weight will be adjusted so that you're only paying for what you receive. So we'll just add that to the basket. So there are all the products. Now there are a couple of others that I'm just going to look for. And we can use our quick product search again. Or we can use the favorites. We could go into, say, fruit and veg, for example, and we could purchase maybe Royal Gala apples if they're in here in our favorites list. There they are. And let's say I want 2 boxes of them, and then parsnips. Let's see if they're in the fruit and veg area. Parsnips here, let's say that it's a 5 kilo bag, so let's say we want 4 of them. Going to add in this basket, and here you can see all of the products adding into the basket here. So you can work between the favorites, and then you can always do a quick product search then as well. So if I was looking for castor sugar, for example, and if I have that spelled correctly, there it is, it comes up. If I was looking for sugar, okay, then everything with the name sugar in it will come up. And I can use the filter then if I want to just narrow down the search to castor sugar. And here it is, and we can use a full or a split. So I'm just going to go for 2 full cases, 2 by 4 by 3 kilos, and add it again to the basket. So there are all of the products that are added to the basket. And when I press or click on my basket, I will be able to see a flash report or a snippet of my flash report, and this just helps to keep me mindful of where I'm at the moment with my budget. So my budgeted GP, you can see here, is 73%. That's what I want to try and get to. My actual GP here is 91.47 period to date, and the overview is 85.22%, which is actually really, really good. It means that I'm way above. But then on the other hand, maybe I don't have proper figures put in or that yet. So now here, just when we're looking at this, we're after 3 o'clock. So McHugh's Butchers cannot meet your requested delivery time of Friday, expected on Saturday. Lally's Food Service and Boxers Fruit and Veg, you can see the same, that it's telling you when to expect the deliveries. So this just, you know, between the time of when you start to place an order and the time of when you go to check out, you may have missed some delivery schedules, so or cut-off times. So it's just to keep an eye on this red area here. So you can see the estimated price of your basket. and you can see all of the products down here, and you can review those products before you check out. So we'll just have a look at what we created in the basket. We've got the wholemeal flour. We had 3 bags of 16 kilos. We've got the Ballymaloe relish, and we've got it just where you see it's got 2 by 5 kilos. And you see here Auto Lally's food service, and you've got the price of 24 by 2 at €48. Now, I just want to double check something here. Okay, so just with the parsnips, for example, so do you see here it says Auto Boxers Fruit and Veg? So what it's telling me is that Boxers Fruit and Veg were the cheapest. So anywhere where you see here the Auto and the supplier, that the system automatically selected that particular supplier because it was the cheapest price. However, if you remember from up here, Boxers Fruit and Veg cannot meet your requested delivery time, and it's going to be Tuesday by the time they can get the order to you. So I might prefer, even though Lally's, for example, or one of the others are delayed more, I might still prefer to have it on Saturday rather than waiting until Tuesday. But then again, it depends on the price. So if I go down here to Auto for Boxers and it's €4, I can go to change supplier, and you see the price difference. You've got Boxers Fruit and Veg is just €1 per bag, and Lally's food service is €6. Now, this is the time to remind you, this is just a demo site or a training site, so these prices shouldn't reflect anything in a real scenario. So let's say I do want to place an order for Lally's. I just press this little green swap arrows, and if I press on that, now the parsnips are coming from Lally's food service and the Auto has dropped from it. If I wanted to change supplier again, I can go with the best selection if there were multiple ones and I didn't want to even look at it. I want to go with the cheaper supplier. It'll bring me back to whoever the cheapest is. And in this circumstance, that's Boxers Fruit and Veg. So I'm just going to change, actually, no, I'll leave it there for the moment. So that's with the Auto, price comparison. At this point, you can still see the alternatives before you check out. So it'll give you an idea of, at this point, you might be looking at your GP and say, oh, I really need to make some changes or to make some cuts. So maybe I will go for a better option. You can see then here for the chips. So you've got 1 by 4 by 2.5 kilos at $8.20, the order that we placed for the chips. And then we also have 1 of 4. So this is quarter, which is 1 bag. And you can see the price there is €2.05. You'll also see for the fillet, do you remember here, please can I order 58-ounce steaks? And there's the supplier and the price, and there's the overall kilo. And then you've got similar for the lamb legs and 110, and the comments are in there, and the same with the halibut. So it's just, and you can add and adjust those to those products there, or those comments. So if I go down, then I can, if I need to create a product, to create a custom product, I can do so at this point. So if I've looked on the system everywhere and I couldn't find one of the products that I needed, I can free type a description of the product that I'm looking for. This will only go on to the supplier's order. It will not go on to their price list in the long term. So if I select supplier and let's pick Boxers Fruit and Veg. And now these fields open up where you need to type a description. So let's say we're looking for dragon fruit. I have it on the menu today. And so dragon fruit and quantity, let's say we want 100, and they're each and the SKU. So you may or may not have the product code. If you're using a supplier's catalog, you should have the SKU, which is the supplier's code, product code. The price, let's say that I know that they're $1.50 each here, and then the tax rate. So generally food is 0%. Consumables and luxury goods like chocolate or luxury foods are 23%. Beverages are 23%, and then you have some Danishes in that might actually be 13.5%. But for this, we're going to put in a tax rate of 0. And then we need to select our 3 levels of categories. So when you're using the custom price creation, I would highly recommend that you pick pack first, because pack is a temporary kind of holding area for products. And if you pick pack first, then you've got simpler options here. You've got food, and you can select fruit and veg. If you were to pick food as your first option, then you need to go down through all of these and find the fruit and veg and see where it is. It is here, but it'll just take you a little bit longer to find. Here's frozen fruit, fresh fruit, for example. And then you see you've got other options here then as well, and there's no dragon fruit, so you probably go with other fruit. So it's just the easier option here is to select pack, then to select food, and then simply fruit and veg. So if I add that custom product now, and it's going to go to boxers, here you can see the dragon fruit, and you've got the detail, you've got the pack, very, very simple kind of holding categories in here, and you've got the detail and 100 each, and you've got the price. Okay, so if you go back and you make any changes to the basket, you will need to update and save the basket. Not adding products, but just if you change the quantity when you're going to review it or delete it or that, you would update and save the basket. But for the moment, we're going to proceed to checkout. And in here now, before we check out, it would tell you if one supplier would supply all of those products. And whenever you see this come up, it's rare enough, but you might see that if you buy everything off one supplier, let's say it works out at maybe €1,500. But because you're working with the price comparison and you're going with the cheaper options, then you've got a savings and you're splitting the suppliers between the cheaper options, and it's $1,244.22. So again, with the options here, you do have somebody in us highlighting here that you've got a net delivery charge for somebody. So you will have a delivery charge here for possibly boxers. Sorry, no, for Krakens here, there's a delivery charge. They can deliver on Friday, but the value of the order, I'd say, is under the delivery threshold. So which must be, I'm guessing, around €50. So warning, delivery charge exceeds 15% of the total cost of this order. So yeah, so it's just giving you that kind of information. But it is green. It means the Kraken's meat and fish, even though you've got a delivery charge, will arrive tomorrow on Friday. For the rest of them, you can see Boxers is not arriving until Tuesday, Lally's Food Service and McKeo's not actually arriving until Saturday. So it's just highlighted to you, and you can see there that the latest delivery is going to be on Tuesday. So it breaks it down. I can submit the order and approve. Before I do that, I just want to hit the view order details. And this is where you can see a breakdown of each of the orders. So the first one here is Lally's Food Service for $233.95. If you wanted to add any special instructions that you forgot, you can put it in there. And then you see all of the different products that are going to that supplier. Then you can see Kraken's Meat and Fish, McKeo's Butchers, Boxer's Fruit and Veg. And if you need to add any kind of delivery schedules, or I'm just going to put in test. And then if I come down here, I can confirm, and I could print this off if I wanted to, but I'm going to submit the order and approve. Now, generally, you'll get to know that if this little button is orange, it means that your order will need to go for approval. If it's green, then the order will be going straight to the supplier. So just you'll get to know the colors and that. So now if I press submit the order and approve, Now all of the orders are here. View the order details. You can see each of the PO numbers or the order IDs. You can print the order from here. You can go straight to it. So let's just take a note, 2944233. And if I go to it straight to here, it'll bring me straight to the purchase order. Or if I come back to the home page, now I can see the on my delivery 28-day overview, expected deliveries, you can see the future deliveries. And you can see here 2944233 Lally's Food Service. There's the order there. So it's a future delivery because you're expecting it on the 10th of the 7th. And you'll be able to see any today's deliveries, any outstanding deliveries, and so on and so forth. So that is that would be the complete steps to place orders. You can go in and use create a new basket through the mini market if you want to, or you can go in through your favorites. Either will bring you into the mini markets. It's just that if you use a new basket, this is where you'll see your supplier schedules and delivery schedules, minimum orders, delivery thresholds and that. Whereas favorites, it'll bring you directly straight into the favorites. Each of the favorites lists and the products will be in front of you. One just final little thing that I want to say about the baskets. So every time you enter the mini market, whether it's through creating a new basket or creating a basket through your favorites, you will create a basket up here. So you can see all of these. There's 0 items for food, 0 items for food. And even if you were just coming into here just to manage your favorites or that, it can create a basket as well. So you can see one that I created at one point, test, I just put a name on it, and then the items of food. You can see all these baskets of 0 items in it. So I'm just going to delete them out of it. And I can delete these if I'm finished, if I'm done, and if I want to. So I'll just delete those baskets, but I can just toggle between the baskets. So if I have a basket opened up in here, I could just press on that basket and it'll bring me into that basket, and I can just add additional products to it and then check out whenever I'm ready. So that is the end of the tutorial based on how to place orders. Thank you for watching.